This is a Tesla Model Y, and we've put 25,000 miles on it. Here's what it's been like to live with. While the Model Y is rated at 318 miles of range, we typically only see between 240 to maybe 270 miles on a full charge. If we go on road trips, we have to always charge to 100%, which is not good for the battery always. We oftentimes go to St. Louis, which is 100 miles away, so a round trip is 200 miles. So for that trip, we always have to charge to like 95 as well. So overall, the range for day-to-day use is like really good. Obviously, you don't need any more than maybe 50 miles for your full day-to-day. But whenever you do need road trips, I do wish that it had a little bit more range. So speaking of range and charging, the charging curve on this car is not the best. While Tesla rates the Model Y at 250 kilowatts on fast charging, you only see that at the very beginning of the charge curve. So you see it from maybe 5% to 15%. The average charging rate of this car is right under 100 kilowatts. So while they say 250, it really hardly gets that. Oftentimes we'll find ourselves at chargers and sitting there for like 30 to 35 minutes, which can feel like it's going on for forever. In our other car, the Mercedes EQS, it has a much better charging curve. Its average charging rate is about 155, and that charges, I mean, we never have to sit at a charger for more than 20 minutes. So it makes road trips go by a lot faster whenever you have a better charging curve. So one of the things that I really like about the Model Y is that it's electric, which means that there's no emissions, there's no real maintenance beyond windshield wiper fluid, and it's also just like really fun to drive. I never have to go to a gas station and deal with gas and like all the mess of that. I get to fill up at home whenever I want. Over 25,000 miles, we've saved almost $2,700 on gas. So basically we save $100 every 1,000 miles. The Supercharger network is definitely one of the Model Y's strong points. Having access to the Supercharger network is really nice. On road trips, there's probably one about every 75 miles. So like literally you can stop anywhere. It's almost just like a gas station when you're on a road trip. In cities and maybe around town, there might not be superchargers super close by, but Tesla has definitely built out the network to be along highways and interstates. So it's really great for road trips. One of the things that I love about the Model Y is the simplicity and the minimalism. You can see it in the design of the exterior and the interior. It's very clean and sleek and minimalistic. Some people might not like it because there's weird door handles, but I like it. Tesla has taken almost every step out of the process of starting your car. When you walk up to your car, your phone is in your pocket and that is your key that unlocks the car for you automatically. You get in the car, you don't have to put a key in the ignition, you don't even have to press a start button. You just get in, put your foot on the brake, and shift into drive or reverse. It's that simple. The interior design is obviously very minimalistic. There's not a lot of buttons. There's not a lot of controls. Everything is done through the touchscreen in the middle. Some people like that, some people don't. I really appreciate it. It gives the interior a very clean aesthetic, and I think it just makes a nicer driving experience whenever there's not a whole lot of visual clutter in the cabin. Another great feature of the Model Y is Autopilot is standard. Autopilot is great. It's automatic cruise control and lane keeping. It can be activated almost anywhere. It's really supposed to only be used on the highway, but you can activate it on a street if the lane markings are like clear. I use it pretty much as I can. It just is nice to have like automatically regulated speed instead of trying to always maintain a speed yourself with the pedal. Autopilot on the highway makes driving for road trips like so easy. It takes 80% of the work out of driving. All you have to do is really just keep your hands on the wheel and make sure that everything's going smooth. And that's it. There's obviously some negatives to autopilot. You might have heard of phantom braking whenever it just brakes for no reason. When we first got the car, that happened so much that it was almost impossible to drive with autopilot on. But with software updates, they've really improved it, and it happens once in a blue moon. Another thing that has improved over time would be things like the automatic high beams and the automatic windshield wipers. They've improved with software updates and they work almost flawlessly now as well. One of the weak points of the Model Y is definitely the suspension. It's pretty stiff and unforgiving. If you're on long road trips, or I mean even just around town, it can be a little rough. We have a street near us that we just have to completely avoid because it's so stiff. And on road trips, you can feel a little bit of fatigue from the just jerkiness and bumpiness that you feel. There's also a lot of suspension noise. So not only do you feel the bumps, you also hear them a lot. Tesla has supposedly fixed a lot of this stuff with the new comfort suspension, but unfortunately, this is the original suspension. If you're considering a Model Y and ride comfort is important to you, definitely don't upgrade to the 20-inch wheels, or especially the performance wheels. Stick with the 19-inch Geminis, they will give you the best ride. The sound system in the Model Y is probably one of the best in its class. It has a lot of bass, it's got a lot of power. The sound quality is just really crisp and clear. It doesn't have any special certifications, it's not Dolby Atmos. You can't use wired connection, it's only wireless, so Bluetooth. That is a little frustrating because Bluetooth does degrade your audio quality just a little bit, so it would be nice to have a hardwired connection for like lossless audio. But Tesla's built-in streaming is actually really great quality on its own. So Tesla packages everything into one trim level. There's no like multiple trim levels, there's no packages to make anything nicer. So for what you get as an entry-level product, it's a very nice value. You get synthetic leather seats, which hold up really nicely. Even the white. You get the giant touchscreen, you get all 5 seats heated, you get dual zone climate control, you get great sound system, you get a glass roof, which is really nice and airy, you get Autopilot included. As of October 2023, you can get a Model Y for $44,000 or just $36,500 after the federal tax credit. I really don't think that there's any other product on the market that is going to give you all of these features at that price. Not only do you get a lot of nice features, but also just the engineering and the amount of performance that you get from this vehicle at this price point is definitely completely unmatched. One of my favorite things about this car is how well it's packaged. It's a compact SUV, some would say midsize, but it's about the size of a Ford Escape on the outside. But it fits 5 to 7 people, and it has a frunk and a trunk. So in the front, we keep our pet cover, but you can fit a whole carry-on suitcase plus like another bag in here. It's really big and really practical. We just fit some pumpkins in here. It's giant. In the back, you've got a good sized trunk, but you have even more space under here in the sub trunk where you can fit another carry-on suitcase plus some bags. You've got side cubbies where you can fit lots of bags and stuff. We also fit some pumpkins in there yesterday. And then both of these panels come out and you have even more storage under here. We keep like an air pump and an ice scraper and our charge cable bag in here. It's just quite a marvel of engineering and packaging. One of the great things about this being an electric car is that there's no transmission tunnel in the middle of the back row. So you have a completely flat floor. And Tesla is really smart and gives you a little cutout here for middle passengers to put their feet. So not only does it seat 3 people in this row, but it seats them very comfortably. Model Y's handling is very direct and responsive. So it basically kind of feels like you're driving a go-kart. Whatever little actions you put in, that's what the car is going to do. It might take a little bit of getting used to because it's so responsive, but once you get used to it, you'll never want to go back. Because of the steering and the amount of power that this car has, it does not feel like you're lugging around 4,500 pounds. It feels very light, nimble, and maneuverable around the city. It's actually really fun to zip around in the city with. Also, if you want to drive it sporty and fast, it does really well with that. So we've had this for 25,000 miles, and you may be wondering how well it's held up. Well, it's held up pretty great. From the exterior, it looks like it's in brand new condition. On the interior, it also looks pretty brand new. We've put dogs in here, we've put lumber in here, we've put a wheelbarrow in here, we've put hay, pumpkins, all kinds of things. And if we were to just give it a little bit of TLC and clean it up a little bit, it would look like it was brand new. We haven't had any major maintenance issues. The only service items that we've had is one of our mirrors was a little bit rattly, and the driver's seat kind of shifted a little bit whenever you accelerated or stopped. Obviously no oil changes, so we're still on the original tires and they've got plenty of tread left. So maintenance cost has been zero so far. So after 25,000 miles, the Tesla Model Y is definitely my favorite car that I've ever had. If you're considering one for yourself, you should definitely buy it. There's no better time. These are so cheap right now. They're such a great value. They're a lot of fun, and it's just a really great package altogether.